Okay, have you ever known you need to do something? There's that nagging thing in the back of your mind that you're like, I know I need to do this. I know I need to do this. And you keep pushing it off and you just don't do it when we know we should be doing it anyways. Kind of like my taxes.
And mine. Like, only all the time.
Every time.
Like, why do I know exactly what we need to do and yet I'm not doing it? What's up with that?
I think, it's the human nature, right? Like, it's not a flaw that we have. It's a human thing. And I think this video is going to hopefully help us kind of bridge that gap because all of us do that. I know for me, I can go to working out and be like, there's been so many days where I've hit the F-It button and I've regretted it because I was like, I need to do it.
You don't have the payoff. You don't have your routine.
You don't have the endorphins. You don't have everything going. So I think this video, we're going to try to help mend that gap of how we can do that.
Well, I mean, we're huge podcasters. We have a mini book club in our team and we take in all kinds of information. And all the information is awesome. It gives you pop culture references. It gives you reference points. It gives you can draw allusions to other information. But if you don't take the information and implement it into behavior, then it really doesn't do you much good.
No, it keeps you really relevant, but the information, we get all of these ideas. I think of a seminar, right? We go to a Tom Ferry seminar and we are pumped up and we're like, we have all these great ideas, but then why don't we execute them? And it's not the fact that we just don't know how to execute them. There's all those internal things that go on, like, what are we fearful of? Well, I don't want to put this idea out there and be judged or have this idea suck and not work. But it's one of those things where it's like, well, we don't know if it's not going to work if we don't do it. And I think having that information is transformation because you're able to stay relevant. You're able to stay on it. But we all have those moments of like, it happens to all of us. We go to these seminars and we're like, yes, we got this. And then we don't execute on our plans. I mean, it's not something that not all of us have.
Well, I think of just doing the damn thing, right? It's like, because there are people that go to Tom Ferry and then they do everything he says and they have massive success, right? But I think of, so what are some of the things that impede going from getting the information and going right into action? It's like, well, fear of rejection. Am I up to the task? Imposter syndrome, all that. Fear of success. What if this works? What if they say yes? Then what, right?
How do I run the meeting? Like, how does this go?
Yeah, and in today's day and age, it wasn't always the case, but distraction. I mean, I don't know about you, but my phone is distracting me every 13 seconds. It's insane. Notifications, the world we live in is huge amounts of distraction. And it's the hard thing. So we're going to come up with easier things to avoid doing the big hard thing, like making the calls, going to see the customer, doing your taxes, whatever it happens to be. So there's a lot of things working against us, including our own mentality.
Oh, that's like one of the biggest things that work against us.
Right.
And so, I think of just our personal stories of pushing through when we really didn't want to and getting it done. And I think of, what was it, last week or earlier this week for you, or
I think it was Monday. What day are we on?
I don't know. It was recently, okay?
Yeah. I was just calling through the MTAs.
Yeah.
Right? And we call through our openings. Those are easy ones. You just open an order with you. We call the buyer's agents on our openings, and they, kind of have to listen to you because we're going to issue the title report. We call our closings, and then the same thing, the other CITers or NDCs. And then we get to the MTA list, and it's like, I have to get that stuff ready for I get to get that property profile, the laundry's in the dryer. Like, I got 17 things to do all of a sudden. But I pushed through and I did the damn thing. Got a couple meetings out of it.
Yeah,
out of like 12
really
calls.
Good meetings.
Yeah, and people didn't know me from Adam, and it really paid off. So when we do the thing, we get the result. But how many times do we talk ourselves out of it? The key is, honestly, it's like 1, 2, 3, go. Just do it. And because I think one of the other bullet points we're going to go over is the learning is actually in the action.
Oh, yeah.
The learning, you can learn and you can study and prepare to get ready to think about studying, but you just got to do it. At some point, you just got to freaking do it.
Yeah, well, then you get into the analysis of paralysis, and then you're frozen, and then you're not doing anything.
Exactly.
And then next thing you know, a week goes by, and you haven't done anything to move your business forward, or even, not even your business, but your personal growth, or yourself moving forward because you got stagnant. And so I think busting through that is one of the hardest things. And going back to like the gym, when that's just the best analogy I can have, or the calls, it's like when we really don't want to do it, and we do it anyways, that's where the confidence gets built. That's where that happens. And I think how to make it easier on ourselves, because we all have these huge goals and these huge ideas that we want for ourselves. And then we get stuck in the action because it's like, how are we going to get there? And all these things. And I have to do this. And it's about creating those daily actions of how to get to that monumental big goal of the consistent action. So it's like, start with your daily small wins. Our small wins, like when we hit our 25 calls, that's a big win for us. We get stoked because usually we got 3 meetings, we have things going on.
Oh, and after the first 5, it's smooth sailing.
Yeah, and then when we have days where we can hit 50 calls, we celebrate those wins. We're like, yeah, we had a great day
even
today.
Starting with make your bed, brush your teeth, do the very, very basics, and then work your way into that. I think if you remember the book that Tom gave away at the one we went to in LA, U Squared, and it came with a little journal.
Yeah.
So it said a couple of things that come to me as we're doing this video is you're trading psychological comfort for massive results. So what does that mean? I'm going to have a little fear around new. I'm going to have a little bit of fear about pushing through that security blanket and doing the unknown. So I'm giving up psychological comfort for massive results. So I have to push through my fear or whatever's holding me back to get to those massive results, which is what we want, right? Yeah. And the other thing is the power of pursuit. So pursuit, what does that mean? Trying, attempting, iterations, reps.
Perseverance. Yeah.
Perseverance. So in the reps, we're getting data. But when I'm stuck in my head and thinking about getting into the action and doing the thing, I'm not getting any real feedback. There's no reality testing going on. I'm not getting any data. When I do 10 things that are new to me and I suck at them, but at least I'm getting data. And then I had one that kind of went okay. And then I have in call 1300, I'm amazing.
Yeah.
But somewhere in the middle is where we have a crucial point of learning through action.
Yeah.
So the power of the pursuit is just getting into the action. Like if you want to go be good at pickleball, go play pickleball.
Yeah.
You're going to suck for a
practice.
while.
Yeah.
Be nice to yourself. You're going to be not so great, and then you're going to a little bit better, and then you're going to get decent.
Well, I like what you say. How did you say it? The psychology. We give up the psychological comfort.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that crazy that that's like kind of make believe? Like it's the voices in our head. So it's not even real fears or real comfort we have. It's what we're thinking we have the comfort
perceived
of. It's
risk.
perceived.
It's not even real risk. Like Rob says, is this going to kill me? No, it's not going to kill me. So I can do this.
Is doing outreach, is having uncomfortable conversations, is all of this, is that going to kill you? Probably not.
Well, that's because you go right to the amygdala, and the amygdala is like, well, this is a threat. Well, we do not want to die here, guys. Let's not do this. And then okay, well, then you go do the dishes instead of doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and so I think going back on okay, how can we make this executable? It's like, well, making sure, I know we talk about it a lot, but making sure things show up in your calendar. You guys, a lot of the stuff we get isn't from us being awesome and listening to all these people, but it's straight from them. This is some of the top coaches, some of the top people, and they talk about time blocking and time management is how you really start to fulfill getting to your goals or hitting your next step, or even if it's not even a goal, it's just you really want to get something done and do it. You got to put it in the calendar. I know for us, we have our What's Working Wednesday, and I was literally thinking yesterday when we forgot again, and I was like, we forgot. I was like, we have to put it in our calendar. We have to add it.
We haven't done that yet.
We don't have it in our calendar because we think we know What's Working Wednesday to do it.
Work in progress, not perfection.
We do it too.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where I was like, oh my gosh, we need to add that to our calendar so we don't keep
because we
forgetting.
missed multiple. And I mean, it's so good though. Oh gosh, I had a thought and now I lost the thought. So.
It'll come back. It'll come back. But having accountability always helps with these things.
The routine. Yeah, getting into your routine and your time blocking, we need that because we need to take the brain out of it. Obviously, when we're relying on our brains for What's Working Wednesday, and we haven't done it consistently every Wednesday, but also getting in the flow of the action and getting on the other side and getting the win from the action. I think is critical because you have to be able to taste that victory. And then the next time when you're like, I really don't want to do this, but then you remember that little dopamine hit from when you had the win, I got the 2 appointments, right? Now I'm going to have a little bit less barrier to making those calls off the MTA report, just the cold, nobody knows us calls, because I've had a win.
Well, I think it's really important to know too that it's feelings aren't drivers. It has to be the commitment that's the driver. Because if we let our feelings drive us,
we'll never feel like it.
No, I'll never feel
like
doing anything that I really know I should be doing. So we have to remember that our feelings can't be the driver. We can't let them take the control. We have to, and yes, I'm not talking feelings of making sure people are cared for and that kind of stuff. We're talking like our own feelings of when we know we should be doing something.
But you don't feel like enough, or you don't feel like you're up to it today, or you're just in a bad mood. I'm in a funk.
Yeah.
Like, you could talk yourself out of stuff quick.
Real quick. You can say I'm in a funk and all of a sudden that's just it. Like I'm just in a weird, it's a funk. Like,
Well, and they say motivation comes from meaning. So what is your big why? Like, we do this. We love helping agents. We love getting calls that they got a deal from one of our ideas. We love studying this stuff to be and bring real intrinsic value to agents instead of just like highlighters and calendars the way we joke, you know? And so we get a huge payoff and benefit and real fulfillment from that. So when we tie into that, I can usually push through. But if I'm relying on me and my motivation just for me, it's 50-50.
no, if it's about me, chances are.
Yeah.
But it's like the same thing. If I have somebody that I have to show up for, that they're sitting there waiting for me, I'm going to show up for them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to bail on them. If they're already at the gym or waiting for me somewhere, we're not going to bail. So why would we bail on ourselves? Like the person that we need to be counting on the most is the person that we always kind of shove off to the side because we're like, I don't want to. And I mean, this is probably terrible parenting. God, my parents. I was thinking like, my dad used to tell me as a kid, hey, F your feelings. You got to do it. Like that was my dad's line. Like, hey,
Bottom line.
Yeah. And it wasn't about like personal things at home. It was more like in the sports world.
Like soccer,
like my
practice,
parents were both competitive sports players and stuff. And so it was more about like, hey, I know you don't want to go to practice today, but that doesn't matter. You committed to your team. I'm sorry, F your feelings. You're going to practice. Like that's how it was. And
Right.
so it was about the commitment of doing the daily activities. And because I made a commitment to other people that I was going to be there, it wasn't about myself. And so as bad as that sounds, that he said that as a like growing up.
No, that was the parenting of our time.
Yeah,
That
and it was
parenting
more
we
of
got.
like, hey, you made a commitment to these people. You got to show up for them. This isn't about you. It's about the people that you committed to.
Well, I think that speaks to the accountability too. Like
That's-
we
yeah.
have each other. We have this team that we're showing up for each other. Even if I can't show up for me some days, I show up for you guys,
Yeah.
and vice versa all the way around.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a good point, tying into your why. And we're talking about now, like, we understand the reasons why we know the thing, but we don't do the thing, all the reasons. So how do you push through that? Calendaring and getting into a routine will help you push through, just because, like Atomic Habits talks about, you just get into a rhythm.
Habit stacking.
And when you do things for 30 days, it becomes a habit. You do it for a year, it becomes a lifestyle, and it just becomes who you are. It's not even what you do anymore.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of reached some of that in some of our structure, but when you calendar it, it happens, you've committed to it. Then when you said it to somebody else out loud, it has a way higher likelihood of happening. If you do it together, it's really happening.
Yeah. I like where I think it was like the podcast or something, but they say like clarity plus action equals the confidence. Cause then when I'm clear on what I'm doing and I have my clear goals set and I take the action to do it. And like you talk about those small little wins start to happen. That's where you get the confidence in your systems and the confidence in your calls and in yourself. Cause you have that clear set of my why, of why I'm doing this. Then you take that clear action path and you start getting those wins. Then you become unstoppable because now you've seen it work. So it's like, okay, now I'm confident that this is going to work because I felt it work.
And all that stuff that was working against you is working for you now. All that doubt, that imposter syndrome. Now you have evidence, so confirmation bias from the brain saying, wait a minute, when we do this, we win. So once you have that momentum, stay there.
Yeah,
stay in
exactly.
momentum.
And so I think it's really too about reframing the mindset after like the tactics of, okay, how? Like you said earlier, you got to do it before you're ready to do it. And I know that's scary. That's scary for a lot of us because we want to make sure we got the plan in place. We're prepped and ready. We know what to expect. But we talk about this all the time. We could have a plan and then there's something else that's like, meh, let's poop on your plan. Here we go.
Right.
Like you got to readjust. Katie, our girl here, she was at a wedding and the whole wedding got freaking rained out day of, and they had to pivot and adjust, and still had a great time, but it wasn't the plan. And so we all have to remember, like, we have a plan, but we still have to adjust it, and what
does Mike Tyson say? A plan's only good until you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Well, I think of public speaking. Like, as I've been doing this 24 years, I've been asked to do more public speaking, and the only way to get good at it is doing it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, totally.
The only way to get good at anything is doing that thing, more of it, more reps.
Yeah. Well, and I can contest that. I think I was at one of your first speeches. I think it was like maybe the Hard Rock or something in front of like probably one of your biggest ones that you had to do. And
there's a lot of people there.
Nobody else could really tell you were nervous, but I was like, oh, Ryan's nervous. Like I can tell he's a little nervous. And as time has gone on and you've done more and more of it, now you go up there and you don't even have to really plan. You kind of have your bullet points of what you're going to say, and you know what you're going to say and how it gets delivered. And so I've been able to watch you with that, but it's taken practice, and it's taken 7 years to get to a point of being able to speak in front of 300 people in the room.
When we got in front of these microphones, how nervous we were at the beginning?
When he first told me we were doing videos, I was like, no, we're not. No, good luck. Good luck getting me to do that.
We really
Actually,
are.
It was like, no, we're doing this. And I was like, okay, whatever. But I didn't really think about it. It was like, all right, I'm being told to do this, and I'm just going to do it. And
part of my job, I guess.
Yeah, part of my job. Who would have thought this is part of the job? But it's about just taking the action and just doing it and not thinking about it. And that is hard, but it's like Nike. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Mic drop. That's it. So, next time you're sitting there thinking like, and we know what to do in real estate, you guys. We know we call people that know, like, and trust us to get referrals. We call people that have used us in the past to get referrals from them. We outreach, communication. The only thing that's a killer in any sales business is when you're static. Inertia is a killer. As long as you're taking motion, you're in motion, you're taking action, you're engaging with others and supporting them and their needs, whether it's title, selling yachts, selling loans, selling houses, you're going to win because you're making it about them, and you're communicating with them to enough people. Somebody's going to raise their hand, right?
Right.
So we know what to do when you're stalling out. Just do it. 1, 2, 3, go, and just do the thing. And that is a great mechanism.
Yeah. And we have to remember, as humans and as people, like, the fear doesn't go away. We're always going to be fearful of something.
So true.
As you grow outside your comfort zone, there's always going to be more growth and another thing that's scary that you don't want to do. And so fear doesn't just go away, but you just kind of stop, like, letting it be the mouse with the megaphone, right? You kind of use that as the driver because it's never going to go away. We talked about this the other day. Like, I am fearful as shit of driving over bridges and, like, having that. But guess what? I'm going to have to do it. So we just have to do it anyways.
Yeah, you just got to do it.
Yeah, you just have to do it. And so, I sit there, I white knuckle, I drive over, I look straight, I don't look at anything else, but I do it anyways. And I get there and I'm done. And I'm like, okay, wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's done.
Isn't it true the way in most things, the thing we want is right on the other side of fear? And we found that. We've done things. We pushed through things. All of us have. And that's the same in everything.
In everything. So I guess, like, to wrap this up, it's for the end of the video, it's what's one thing that you should be doing and you're not doing it, and just do it today. Just get it done today. Put it on the board, put it on the whiteboard. Say, my day is not done.
Tattoo. No,
please don't. No, please don't. Please don't.
I've been really thinking about face ink, and I'm just going. No.
Don't do that. So it's one of those things. It's like, you really don't need a new plan. You just got to work your plan and work it to what it actually is, and have your daily numbers and work your plan. It's like, we talk to a lot of realtors, and we've had multiple realtors in a chair in front of us saying, I'm going to go get a job. I need consistent income. I have to go get a job. And we've looked them straight in the eye and said, you have a job. You're not working it. We need to work your job.
That is so good, Haley.
And we've had how many agents come back and say, I needed to hear that because now I've got deals going and I'm working my job. And it's like, you don't want to go to a 9 to 5 and have somebody tell you what to do. You have a job. You just got to work it. So that's kind of, do the things. Work, and that's how we are. We're like, we know we need to do things. We have things in our minds that's like, okay, we got to get it on the calendar. We got to do it. But that's just part of the like, we're all flawed. We're human.
Oh my God, you know how they say just starting and you're halfway through? It's so true.
It's so true.
Like, you just start and you're halfway through. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you. And when we're struggling, we're coming to you. When you're struggling, call us. We'll get through and push through the fear together.
Yes, we'll do it together. So thank you guys so much. We love being a part of the team. Until next time, I'm Haley.
I'm Ryan.
Bye.
Bye.